All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we are cutting through all the marketing noise and getting right down to it, demystifying the exact operational differences between hot peel and cold peel DTF films. Look, if you run a print shop, you know that time is quite literally money. So today, we're delivering a high-signal, zero-fluff breakdown of what is actually happening right there at your press.
Here is a hard operational truth about this industry. Garment decoration rarely loses margin at the printer. It loses it in finishing. I mean, you could have the absolute fastest, most beautifully calibrated printer on the market, but if your finishing workflow creates a bottleneck, your production margin is actively draining away. And that is exactly why understanding your chemistry is just absolutely crucial. To get to the bottom of this, we're going to follow a pretty strict teardown. We'll cover the finishing bottleneck, cold peel as the traditional benchmark, hot peel as the production accelerator, the warm peel hybrid, and finally, how to perfectly align your chemistry with your volume. Okay, Section 1, the finishing bottleneck. In the DTF ecosystem, your choice of release film basically dictates your entire finishing workflow. We aren't dealing in hypotheticals today. We're looking at the gritty, operational realities of your press. Because let's face it, every single time an operator has to touch a garment, it costs you time. And the film you choose determines exactly how many times they have to touch it. Moving right along to Section 2, cold peel traditional benchmark. So, for a cold peel film to actually function properly, the garment has to drop down to room temperature. We're talking specifically between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 68 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. You absolutely must hit this window before you try to remove the PET carrier. Why? Well, this cooling phase is what allows the melted adhesive to fully re-solidify into the fabric fibers. If you cheat that temperature, the whole process just completely falls apart. And this really brilliantly illustrates the operational downside here. Think about it. You press the garment, but then you have to remove it and stage it while you wait for that temperature to drop. This physical staging phase adds an entirely new touch point to your workflow. You are literally hauling inventory over to a cooling rack, waiting around, and then returning to it just to peel the carrier. It inherently slows down your throughput and creates a physical traffic jam right in your shop. But hey, we put up with it for a reason, right? Despite that annoying bottleneck, the cooling phase yields some pretty incredible results. Cold peel gives you a highly forgiving release, a beautifully smooth matte finish, and this is a big one, if you're working with microtext, the detail retention is just exceptional. The chemistry has the actual time it needs to bind and lock in. So sure, it's slower, but it is incredibly stable. Let's look at the flip side. Section 3, hot peel, production accelerator. Above 100 degrees Celsius, or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, I mean, that is boiling territory. Hot peel films are engineered with this highly specialized release coating that allows your operators to just strip the film instantly. We are talking about peeling the carrier directly on the lower platen while the garment is still scorchingly hot. And because you peel immediately at those crazy high temperatures, you create a seamless, single-touch workflow. You press, you peel, you move on. No cooling racks, no secondary handling. By completely eliminating that staging bottleneck, you drastically skyrocket your units per hour output. It's just pure, unadulterated speed. However, as we all know, speed always comes with conditions. Hot peel chemistry is just inherently less forgiving. Because you are ripping that carrier away while the adhesive is effectively still melted, it requires perfectly calibrated press pressure. If your machine is off even a tiny bit, you'll find out the hard way. Furthermore, hot peel really struggles to release ultra-fine standalone details. Got tiny, delicate elements in your design? You run a very real risk of ripping them right off during that high-temp peel. So let's put them head-to-head here. Cold peel gives you that super forgiving release, the matte finish, and the microtext retention, but it totally traps you in that 20 to 25 degree staging phase. Hot peel, on the other hand, demands strict calibration and definitely threatens those fine details, but it rewards you with an instant, single-touch workflow right above 100 degrees. Ultimately, you are trading the safety net of a cold cure for the raw, unbottlenecked speed of instant peeling. Section 4, the warm peel hybrid. Now, a lot of the modern films out on the market today actually fall into this warm peel category. It's a true operational hybrid. With a warm peel, you remove the garment from the press, give it a quick 5 to 10 second wait just for a slight temperature drop, and then you peel it smoothly. You aren't waiting for a full cure down to room temperature like cold peel, but you are also easing off those strict, immediate calibration demands of stripping it at 100 degrees Celsius right on the platen. For a lot of workflows, it's just a highly effective compromise. And that brings us to Section 5,
Aligning chemistry with volume.
Remember what we said right at the beginning? Margin is lost in finishing. Listen, there is no such thing as a universally better film in a vacuum. It is entirely about aligning the film's specific chemistry with the specific production volume of your floor. If you do high-volume, blocky athletic wear, Hot Peel might be your absolute champion. But if you do intricate, boutique, micro-text designs in smaller batches, Cold Peel is likely the thing saving your quality control.
So let's lock in your strategic takeaways from today's explainer. First, always align your chemistry with your volume. Second, obsess over simplifying execution at the press. Fewer touchpoints always mean fewer errors. Third, aggressively identify and eliminate those staging bottlenecks. And finally, by selecting the correct peel dynamic for your specific floor, you guarantee reduced variability. And we all know, predictable processes equal protected margins.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Look around your shop right now. Look at your cooling racks and your pressing stations. Which peel dynamic will actually simplify execution and reduce variability on your floor today? Find your bottleneck, pick the right chemistry, and go take your margin back. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.